Wealth Our Way Wednesdays, 12:30 p.m. 15 minutes of finance. What do you do when you're starting from the mud with less than zero? No plan, no role model, no hero. Take to the streets, bring heat like De Niro, or tune in to Wild, the network, the thorough. If it was me, I'd sit down with a pad and a pen, hit my homie shitty thought with a friend. Tank is spitting real knowledge from beginning to end. 15 minutes, Wealth Our Way, let the lesson begin. Yeah, 15 minutes of finance with your man, Big Tank. Let's get it. What is going on, Wealth Our Way Nation? Somebody please put in the comments whether or not you can hear me, because I am having all types of tech issues. I am broadcasting from my phone. I tried to do my laptop, then I tried to do my iPad, and now I'm down to the phone because I'm on the road today. I am in Miami, Florida, at a cannabis capital conference hosted by the good people of Benzinga. Because I told you guys in my other life, I am the chief financial officer of a cannabis cultivation and manufacturing company in New Jersey, and I am here raising capital. So one of the issues when you're on the road and trying to work in your day job is you run into all types of hurdles. But let this be a reminder and an example to everyone that when the tough gets going, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So I'm glad to know that you guys can hear me. We are going to talk today on episode 213 of 15 Minutes of Finance and answer the question of, are we headed for a financial apocalypse? I was sent an article by my main homie, Drew, by the Rich Dad, Poor Dad author, Robert Kiyosaki, stating that he believes the American dollar is going to be the equivalent of toilet paper in a year or two. And I want to address that and all the other doom and gloom naysayers that are out here. But first, we're going to get into go or no go. So today's go or no go topic is right in line with the whole doom and gloom concern. I got an inbox and I got a bunch of these. This is just the one I chose to pick, kind of the same topic, which is what to do with my 401k right now. The stock market's down, inflation's at an all-time high, which it really isn't at all-time high, but this is what the person's message to me said. And I think that's a great point for me to hammer home. We can't do fear and panic's job for it by over-exaggerating our reality. We are not in the dire situation that people would have us believe. Please don't listen to the pundits on TV and on the internet. They are trying to sell a book or a product or a service, and they're trying to scare the bejesus out of you to do it. So we'll get into this later on, but let me answer the go or no go today. Hey, I'm a middle-aged person saving for retirement. I think gave me their age, but I'm keeping it out, the comments. Heading for retirement, and I'm concerned that the stock market crash of 2008 is going to repeat itself, and I want to move all my money to cash. Should I do that? So I'm going to cut to the chase here. As a financial planner with over 25 years of experience, I believe it is never a good idea to be out of the market. We have a saying in investments, which is you cannot time the market. It's not about timing the market. It's about the time in the market. So we should revisit our asset allocation, revisit our time horizon, revisit our investment objectives, and make sure our goals are in line to get us to where we want to be at retirement. Over time, the stock market, the S&P 500, returns roughly 10% a year with dividends and capital gains reinvested. Are we going to have years that are negative? Of course. Are we going to have years where we outkick the coverage and do more than 10%? Of course. Bad times don't last. We got to keep our eye on the prize and keep our asset allocation. So taking all your money out of your investments and putting it in cash is a no-go. And I think we got the no-go. My production team is crazy great. So we're not going to do that. Let's go to the topic of the day, which is, are we headed for a financial apocalypse? So I like the word. It just sounds like everything is going. I'm not gonna make it to the end of the week. I envision Mad Max on Thunderdome, showing my age with some of these movie references. But Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome the earth was, devoid of food sources and water sources and gasoline sources, and it basically reverted us back to caveman times, but we were in the future. And people were just going around looting and robbing and marauding and taking other people's assets, taking other people's property, taking other people's belongings for their own survival. And if you had to ask 7 out of 10 people today if they think we're going to revisit that, you'd probably get a yes. Robert Kiyosaki is not helping matters any by saying that the American dollar is going to go to zero and be worth the same as toilet paper. Actually, he said toilet paper would be worth more. With that being said, we've seen in the news lately this new BRICS economy, which is Brazil, Russia, India, I can't remember the other two, Saudi Arabia, and I don't know who the C is, I can't remember. But it's a bunch of countries that have basically said they are fed up with America, fed up with the way America handles money, fed up with the financial dependency on America, the worldwide acceptance of the dollar, and they want to start a currency collaboration that will rival the dollar. I tell you guys to look at history. Go back and study what happened with the euro. The euro was a bunch of European countries, deciding that they were going to create a unified currency. They weren't necessarily saying that the dollar wasn't any good and they needed to beat or compete with the dollar. They just wanted to create a currency that would allow uniformity through Europe, because European countries almost look like states in America. They're very close together, small, and they wanted to have one single currency that tied all of these industries together, tied all these countries together. That shit ended horribly. And yes, I cursed. It ended horribly. You had so many countries that couldn't keep up with the standard of the euro. Their economies weren't strong enough. You had just all different types of government. We talk about government bureaucracy when we talk about one government. Imagine putting multiple governments together and trying to come up with a common theme or strategy. It doesn't work. Here's what I would say, and I'm going to beat people to the punch by painting doom and gloom myself. What does America do better than any other country on this marble? I give you an answer. I'll give you a hint. It's a 3-letter word. It starts with W, it ends with R, and it has the first vowel as its middle letter. They do war better than anybody else. Of the American GDP, more money is spent on defense than any other thing that we do. And per capita across the globe, America spends more money on defense than any other country. Now, we only call it defense because that's more palatable. We really spend money on attack. We believe what President Roosevelt said a long time ago, which is to walk lightly and carry a big stick. If we come into a situation, and by we, I mean America, where all of a sudden these other countries are talking about not taking our currency and not doing business with us, you will see World War III. You will see us use our big stick. We are the bully on the block. We have the most phenomenal capital market system. Every other country on the globe has tried to mimic our capital system. We didn't mimic theirs, they mimicked ours. The countries in Europe are way older than America. We didn't copy what they are doing, they copy what we're doing. And America will beat the living shit, mark my words, out of anybody that provides a serious threat to the way we do economics here on this planet. I'm not necessarily saying that's the right way to be. Trust me, I'm a peace guy. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But I'm here to tell you there's a reason we spend so much money on defense. There's a reason when the price of oil goes up, we go and blow up Middle Eastern countries. There's a reason when Russia didn't do what we asked them to do, we put all these trade embargoes and sanctions on China, on Cuba. There's a reason why there's an OFAC list. We don't play that shit. I'm gonna sound real American right now because it frustrates me that these people are out here profiting by spreading fear and making people think that we're going to fall off of a cliff somehow. It's not going to happen. This whole planet would be nuclearly evaporated before America becomes a second-class economy. We fight. That's what we do. So are there economic problems currently in the United States of America? Yes, there are. Have there been economic problems many, many times before? Was there not a Great Depression? Was there not an oil shortage? Was there not a Cuban Missile Crisis? Was there not a world trade bombing? Was there not a Great Recession? Was there not a mortgage crisis? All of these things have happened, and we keep making more highs, more new highs. The market will rebound, and it will go higher. So For all of you who are concerned as to whether the economic viability of America is something you need to worry about, I tell you, stop worrying. Because if it gets that bad, we got bigger problems. I want you to go out and get your little vest like Mel Gibson had on and your little dune buggy and ride over and suction the gas out of your neighbor's car, because the world has went up into complete turmoil if that occurs. America will not become a second-class society, and our economy will not crumble. We will rebound. We will lead the way. We always do. And you guys know I'm not the most patriotic all the time, but I'm telling you, when it comes to money and America, we aren't co-defendants. It's going to work out. With that being said, I'm gonna give you today's 3 tips. When you're fearful of what's going on financially, here's what you need to do. Tip number 1, study financial history. Become a student of financial history. I just gave you several different things that have occurred in America that we've rebounded from. Go back and look at them. Look at how they happened. Look at what happened immediately behind a crisis and realize how we've rebounded in the past. You cannot predict the future by studying history, but you can have a good understanding of how to deal with future. Tip number 2, check your sources. Don't believe what these fools say. Jay-Z once said, believe half of what you see and none of what I say. People will say anything, myself included. Check my source. Like, don't take somebody as gospel. This rich dad, poor dad dude is an idiot. I've always thought he was an idiot. I read his first book and it made no sense to me. And I'm a pretty bright guy, but he's not, he has some tidbits. He's a marketing guy. He knows how to get people to listen to him, but he's not saying anything new, original, or insightful. Tip number 3, stick to the fundamentals. It's the same thing I said about the 401k. We make plans and we stick to our plans. If you have a balanced portfolio that is in line with your risk tolerance and is lined up with your time horizon and investment objectives, you are going to be fine. Do not worry about how much money you have today in your retirement account if you're not retiring for 15 years. That's stupid. And I'm calling it quick today because I got to get back into a meeting, so I'm being more abrupt than normal. But it's stupid. If you don't need the money for 15 years, why do you care what it is today? It only needs to be right in 15 years. Make sure your plan is set. The same plan you started with that was set to get you to 67 or 70 or age 72. If that plan is still solid, if you have a great asset allocation, if your portfolio is diversified and you're following your budgetary rules, you will be fine. So with all that being said, love you guys. I would want to say I'm coming from sunny Miami today, but it's been raining the whole time I've been here. But I'm going back to this conference, a lot of big business going on. It's a great time, great people. I wish you all well, and I will see you next Wednesday, same place, same time here at 15 Minutes of Finance. Remember, wealth is not only for the wealthy.
Thanks for tuning in to the Wild Network. For more great content like this, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page at Wealth Our Way Network. Also, don't forget to follow us on IG and Facebook. Remember, wealth is not only for the wealthy.